Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're going to be talking about the Ardelyx ARDX fourth quarter 2023 quarterly summary. Today is the 23rd of February 2024, and in this summary, we're going to be looking at the bullish and the bear sides from that quarterly report. So I generally follow small cap pharma. I do games. I do a little bit of everything. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot, and thank you. So this is no longer small cap, but I have rode the stock from 60 cents up to $9, where I sold most of my shares. At the moment, I do not own any shares, but I do keep some options just in case. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up by your own due diligence, and any information given is valid for today, the 23rd of February, and the slideshow will not be updated. But as we get new news, new sales, new all that stuff, we'll make a new slideshow for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over pretty much fourth quarter review, which is these numbers everyone should know. Shouldn't be any kind of surprises here. But we're going to be looking at then the bear side, the bullish side, where we go from here, and a conclusion. So let's just get through this part first, and then we can kind of dig into this a little bit. So company sales were 28.1 million in fourth quarter, 80 million in 2023. The company expects sales from Israel to be between 140 and 150 million. Exposure sales were 2.5 in the fourth quarter, but sales started in November. Operating expenses were 57.2 million. Net loss was 28.5 million, but cash in hand was 184 million. Okay, great. So what went wrong? So a larger net loss. And this is okay. This goes with the hiring they did. They were fully hiring for the Exposa team, and hopefully that is done. But then they started talking about expanding the Israel team, which is going to continue to grow the operating costs. And they really didn't give us any proper guidance for Exposa. So we're doubling the cost, and we're not seeing how Exposa is going to help. And so, but no guidance for it is normal. It's the first quarter. I don't see anything wrong with it. But again, cash is going to start to be an issue since there was no indication about how sales were going. Now, everyone can say that sales are going great. Oh, I speak to doctors. I'm speaking to patients. And they might be going great for a very small sec, but we just don't know. There's no operating expense guidance. Of course, talking about doubling a team makes you worry about that. Obviously, we're just going to take 60 million to make it easy for math and times it by 4 quarters. That's 240 million. They said that sales were between 140 and 150 and a question mark. That's a pretty big gap. And so that's definitely something that people are looking at. Like, is this company going to need cash at some point? We don't need it anytime soon, but at some point. And then the weirdest part, there's a trial going on for something. It's open label. We're just collecting data. It's not regulatory. We're just letting our investigators, select people and figure it out. But we're just doing it. I've been in biotech for a while. This made absolutely no sense to me. Like, and this is something that occurs that people, they will run open label trials where they'll get the data and they'll be like, oh, we see other indications from this. It happens all the time. Let's be honest. As I've said before, Viagra is a heart medication. Guess what it's used for now because of what they saw. So, obviously there might be something going on. It's just very strange that they're not giving any indications, and it just seems like it's random and it's not regulatory. So it is very strange to talk about, and I am slightly confused about it. But we're done with the bear side. Let's go to the bullish side. So sales are improving. So 80 million to an estimated 140 to 150. That's great. So we had 28.1, and that is up from 22.2 and 18.3 in the last 2 quarters. So when we're looking at it, 140 to 150 are 35 million or 37.5 million per quarter. If it continues to grow at the rate it's growing, and we're expanding the team, I think 140 to 150 is low. Like, I think it's super low, because if you just get a $5 million increase, which is kind of, you went from 18.3 2 quarters ago to 28, I think we're looking at like 162 million around there. If you're looking at what it did from quarter 3 to quarter 4 and goes up 6, we're looking in the 170s. So I think sales are definitely low. I think that's something definitely that we will be looking at. And then Exposa sales were 2.5 in half a quarter. So can we expect 5 to 10 per quarter soon? I think that's a possibility. Obviously, most people are not going to try a new drug in like the second half of December. Like they're going to say, hey, I'm going to start it in 2024. We'll go from there. I have interest, but that's when I'm going to start it. So again, I think we could see some good sales in the next quarters. And I think that, obviously if we can see 10, 15, 20 per quarter, we'll be in pretty good shape. We have plenty of cash at 184 million, which does give us a nice runway. And so I don't believe there's going to be any chance for an offering in 2024, which should let the stock stay fairly high. But where do we go from here? So we're going to be watching the cash burn and sales, and there's no other way to look at it. Like the drugs are in, but there's nothing in the pipeline that we're going to worry about. We're just going to worry about sales and expenses because the company cannot become too bloated in its quest for sales that its expenses are always higher than its sales. And you say, oh, that's easy, but companies do that. They say, hey, we can get higher and higher sales, and they continue to put more and more expenses into it. And yeah, they might sell 500 million, but their expenses are now 600 million. Not helpful. So again, that is really something we're going to be looking at to see like how, is doubling the team going to more than double the income, or what are we looking at here? So that's something definitely that we are going to be watching quarter to quarter from here on out. So pretty much both sides are happy and unhappy with this. So we definitely can see the bullish side as they're going to continue to try to ramp sales in the quest for a blockbuster. That is simple enough. They believe that they have 2 drugs. Both drugs can get up to blockbuster status. Done. And that's pretty simple. But we can also see the bear sides as expenses will always be larger than sales. And that is something that we, of course, have to watch out for. It doesn't matter if you sell $1 billion of drugs if you're spending $1.5 billion to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to keep tabs on the stock. And I might take a actual stock position if I see the right things occur. Again, I will keep my options at the moment to just in case there's some kind of major surprise going on. I'm just looking for that right piece of information where I can see sales like really take off and expenses not. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I hope this helped kind of explain like the price action, what the quarterly report is, a lot of that information that maybe you did not think about. So hopefully this helped. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.